Hey everybody, welcome back to another daily creative challenge. My name is Jesús Ramirez. Thank you so much for being with me today. I'm already looking at the chat and I see a lot of people that I recognize. I see Kata Jones as usual. How's it going? Gary Jones, Claire, Pradeep, Robin, Claudia from Print My Soul joining us from Berlin. How's everybody doing today? Thank you for being with me on the Daily Creative Challenge number 8. In today's stream, I'm going to show you how to swap yourself into a movie still or a movie poster. If this is your first time joining us, make sure that you hit the behance.net Daily Creative Challenge page. That way you can join the conversation on Discord, and I'll show you what that is in a moment. And also you can download the assets for some of the challenges that we have. Today's challenge does not require a template file, but if you're catching up, you may need to download the template files for some of the previous challenges. As I said earlier, in today's stream, we're going to focus on placing your face inside of a movie scene or a movie poster. And it's actually going to be a really simple technique that I think you'll enjoy, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun. As I mentioned earlier, you can click on join the conversation or on join our community, or visit that link there to join our Discord page. And if you go to that, this is what you will see. This is a community. Oh, it looks like I have the wrong... Looks like I'm having some technical difficulties here with the screen that I'm going to be sharing. So let me just move that over just a second. Sorry about that. Somehow my settings got moved around, so I'm just gonna have to place this window on this side, but I think it'll work. And let me know if you guys can see that. It looks like I'm having some issues here. Sorry about that. I'm not exactly sure why that changed, but let me see if I can change that right here. Give me one quick second. I'm so sorry about that. Let me see if I can just work with this, and if not, then I will worry about changing it. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to change it because I'm not going to have enough real estate for that. I'm so sorry about that. Let me figure out why that is happening. So let me change that. There we go. That's the right one. Somehow my settings got changed up, but I managed to fix it. So anyway, as I was saying, we have access to the Discord page, and let me just start from the beginning because I think I confused a lot of you guys. So if you are just joining us, make sure that you go into behance.net/daily creative challenge. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you can see the community on Discord. You can click on this button, or you can click on the button on top, or you can go into the URL you see up there. And what that will get you to is a page on Discord, which is, let me get to it, which is this page here where you can submit questions, and whatever work that you create, you can place it on design feedback. And me, the Adobe team, and other people from the community can help you with your questions. We can give you feedback, and it's a really great place to be. That way you're not only creating work with us, but you're also sharing it with us, and we can all have a conversation based around the work that we create. You can also go to the Ask a Question page and ask questions, and we have a tips and tricks channel that you can also check out. And as you can see, people are very, very active in that community, so I would highly recommend joining that page. What I'm going to do now is go into Photoshop, and we're gonna do a face swap in Photoshop. And I'm actually gonna do two, just so that you can see the process on two different images. And the key is to make or to use a photo that has a straight on shot. You don't want to do really weird angles, because this is not necessarily going to create the best face swap. We're not swapping heads, we're swapping faces. So if you have a really weird angle, you're going to have to swap the entire head. So we're not going to go that far in this video. We're actually going to just simply swap the face, which is much easier. And we're going to use a tool that you wouldn't necessarily think to use for this particular technique. We're going to use the Auto Blend Layers tool, which is designed to stitch layers together when using panoramas. But just because a tool or a filter or adjustment is meant for something doesn't mean you have to use it just for that purpose. If you understand what the tools are doing behind the scenes, then we can use them for whatever we like. And one of the easiest examples I like to show people is when you have a shape or a layer. It doesn't have to be a shape, as long as you have a layer. So we'll just say that this is our layer, and I'll give it a fill, right? I'll make it orange. And in the layers panel, if I double click, it brings up the layer style window, which for some reason I'm having a lot of technical difficulties because it didn't come up on my screen, but I know that you guys are seeing it, so that's very odd. I'm not exactly sure why I can't see the layer style window, but I know that you guys can see it because I can see what you guys are looking at. Actually, no, it didn't come up on your screen either. Here it is. It came up on this screen. Sorry, I have multiple screens and it came up and it looked like it came up on your screen, but not on mine. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm not really sure why all the settings got all out of whack since yesterday. But anyway, what I was saying is that when you double click on a layer, the layer style window comes up, and with the layer style window, you can apply different styles, right? So for example, we can apply an outer glow. So we have a glow, right? And I'll reset it to default so you can see what that looks like by default. So it's just a glow, right? But just because the label says that it's a glow, it doesn't mean that you have to use it as a glow. You can use it as whatever you like. So you can even use it as a shadow, for example. So the opposite of a glow. If you wanted to use the outer glow as a shadow, all you would need to do is change it to black, change the color to black, and change the blending mode to normal, and now the glow is a shadow, right? So that's the whole point of today's stream, that just because something is labeled for something, it doesn't mean that you have to use it for that purpose. You can use it for whatever you want. So what we're going to do today is use the auto blend layers that are designed for stitching panoramas together to create face swaps. In reality, we're doing the same thing. We're stitching two images together to make it seem like one single image. So that's all we're doing. So we're using that technology to do a face swap. So I'm going to delete this layer, and I will just take a quick look at the chat just to see how you guys are doing. And there's no questions yet. Cool. I saw one question. Do you have to download these challenges in sequence? You don't have to. Some of them make more sense if you do them in sequence, because sometimes we take a challenge that we used in a previous stream to work on the following one. So in those cases, it might make a little more sense to follow the sequence, but you don't necessarily have to. So what we're going to do is we're going to place my face into this Iron Man poster. So all I did is just simply took a photo of myself with my cell phone, and I tried to get the similar type of angle and a similar type of lighting. So it's not 100% perfect, but that's okay. You're gonna see how this technique is going to work, and we're gonna be able to place my face into this movie poster of Iron Man, and I'm really looking forward to see what you guys are gonna do. I'm wondering what movies you guys are gonna select, and where you will be placing your face and your friends' faces. So I will use this photo of myself and a photo of Iron Man. This is a movie poster from Avengers Endgame. No spoilers, I haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers in the chat. But anyway, what you want to do is select the face that you're going to place over the movie poster or the movie still. In this case, my face, and I'm just going to make a selection around my face, like so. Then I'm just going to press Ctrl J, Command J on the Mac to duplicate those pixels onto their own layer. You can see that here. And I'm going to select the Move tool and place it over Tony Stark. Then I can press Ctrl T, Command T to transform, and I can click on this little pivot point on this anchor point and then drag it over to the corner of my eye and reduce the opacity so that I can see below it. And it looks like I did a pretty good job in matching the corner of my eye to the corner of his eye, and I can just move it and place it there. And the reason that I'm trying to match the corner of the eye is so that I can have a point of reference and align everything to it. So if I press Control T, Command T to transform, I can rotate and I can scale in to that point. So I'm just gonna try to match my face to his face as best as I can. And I can keep adjusting the opacity so that I can see the original pixels and the new pixels. You could also transform it any way that you like. For example, you can use the warp tool. You can right click and select warp and just warp it any way that you like so that the pixels match just a bit better. So maybe something like that. And I'll press the enter or return key on the Mac, and I can just keep adjusting the opacity just to make sure that I did a good job in placing my face over his face, and it looks like I did an okay job. So the next step is to make a selection out of the pixels that make up the face that you're bringing in this case, my face. So if I hold Control, Command in the Mac, and click on the layer thumbnail, it will make a selection around the active pixels. Then you can go into the movie poster, and I'm going to click and drag it. Oh, looks like I'm getting some new followers. Thank you. I'm going to click and drag it into the new layer icon to duplicate that layer, and I'm going to disable the layer on the bottom. The layer on top, I'm going to go into Select, Modify, and Contract. So I'm going to make that selection smaller so that Photoshop has pixels to play with when we create the blend. So we're going to contract the selection by around 3 pixels. It really depends on the size of your document. 3 pixels is going to work in most cases. You might want to increase it to 5 if you have a much larger document. I'm going to press OK, and the selection is going to contract by 3 pixels. Then I'm going to select the layer and hit the delete key to just delete those pixels, and you can see the transparency. There's nothing there. I'm going to press Control D, Command D to deselect to get rid of that selection. And I'm going to bring that layer down and this one down as well. So at the very top, I just have 2 layers, my face and the Iron Man poster with the hole. So I'm going to select both layers. You can hold Shift and click on the layers to select them. And then I'm going to go into Edit, Auto Blend Layers. And this is the command that I was talking about. This is used to blend images together when you're creating panoramas. The little picture here, the little icon, shows you what is going on behind the scenes. You're basically taking multiple images and stitching them together, trying to match color, tonality, and all that good stuff so that it seems like a seamless panorama. But in this case, we're going to use it to match my skin tones to the skin tones of the poster. Make sure that Seamless Tones and Colors is selected and click on Content Aware Fill, Transparent Areas, and press OK. And you can see the blend. So now my face is on the Iron Man movie poster. So I see somebody in the comments said Face Off, Alexandra. Yeah, that was a good old movie. I don't know if you're referring to the movie. Maybe I shouldn't mention that movie. It might date myself, but old movie with John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. But this is the result. As you can see, it's fairly convincing. It was fairly easy to do. The skin tones were matched, and it looks pretty good just for not a lot of work. So this is the process. I'll repeat it one more time, just a little quicker, so that you understand how it works. And this time I'll just place myself in the Guardian of the Galaxy movie. So once again, just Control T, Command T to transform and scale the image down, reduce the opacity, and try to match it accordingly. Let me just drag the pivot point over to the corner of the eye. By the way, if you don't see the pivot point, click on this check mark here, which brings it up. And you can place it there and then click and drag on the corner handles to adjust it accordingly. If you hold Alt, Option on the Mac, as you're doing that, you can scale in and out of that point. So that's why I want it there. Then I can go into Warp and keep warping myself until I match the face. So there we go. I think this is still a bit too high. Maybe I'll bring it down and we'll see how this works. I think I'm gonna create a good match here. I'm not happy on this side of the face. I'm just gonna drag it over to the right a little bit. But anyway, I think that this will work. So what I'll do is I'll increase the opacity back up to 100%, click on the lasso tool and just make a selection like so. And there we go. I can hit the delete button on, or actually I'll duplicate the layer because you will always want to work non-destructively. So duplicate the layer and then go into select, modify, contract. We'll use 3 pixels again, and that goes in. Hit the delete key and you'll see the transparent pixels. If you don't see the transparent pixels, it's probably because you have the 2 layers enabled. So make sure that you disable the bottom one so you can see the transparent pixels. And we have, oh, actually, you know what? I was going too fast. I didn't crop the pixels out of my face. So let me do that first. Let me just go back a step and right click, select inverse to invert the selection, hit the delete key, and now I can press Control, Command on the Mac and click on the layer thumbnail to make a selection around my face. And I can go into select, modify, contract, and press OK. Now I can hit that delete key to delete those pixels. So you have to remember the steps. I almost forgot them there. So now with these 2 layers selected, I can go into edit, auto blend layers, and then just press OK. The settings are the same. And you can see me in the Guardians of the Galaxy poster there. So that's a pretty cool technique that I think you all will enjoy and have a whole lot of fun with. I can't wait to see the results on Discord. Once again, if you haven't already, make sure that you join us on Discord. Here it is. This is the page. And make sure that you go into the design feedback section and you post all your results. Like I said, I can't wait to see the face swaps that you do. If you don't remember the steps, that's okay. You can always go back onto behance.net and click on live and you will see the replays here. So make sure that you check the replays out from the previous challenges, and this recording will be there as well. So check it out. Also, make sure that you upload all your work onto Behance using the tag PS Daily Challenge, which is very important because we will be looking at your work with this hashtag. PS is in capital letters, Daily Challenge is in lowercase, and we can just go on there and see all the work that you guys have been doing. It's a lot of good work, a lot of excellent album covers, a lot of excellent double exposure effects, a lot of excellent card photo into comic effects. So a lot of good stuff. So I highly recommend you checking out this tag or this keyword so that you can get some inspiration from other people. Also, if you don't know how to do that, just make sure that you click on create a project and upload your project. If you don't know how to save a file, it's very simple. You can go into file, export, and export as, and you can export this as a PNG or a JPEG and export it all. So I'll just call it Guardians, export it onto my desktop, go back into Behance, upload a file, and my desktop is here, Guardians image, and there it is. And click on continue, and you can give it a name, face swap, face swap, and crop and actually I'll move that over and maybe zoom into my face a little bit. So maybe something like that. Crop and continue, and under discoverability, make sure that on the keywords you use that tag. So that tag is on the behance.net/daily creative challenge page, and it's PS Daily Challenge, PS in capital letters. So make sure that you paste that in there and use a comma to accept that tag and publish it, of course. We only have a couple more minutes, and I just wanted to say thank you for everybody who is here watching. I see that we have a couple people that joined in. Anissa, how's it going, Anissa? Good to see you here. Darren, Anna, thank you everybody so much. I can't wait to see what you guys will use for the face swaps. So one thing I didn't mention actually was that for the Guardians of the Galaxy face swap, I just did a screenshot of a YouTube video. So you can do that. So you can watch a YouTube video, pause it, do a screenshot, bring it into Photoshop, and then do your face swap. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing everybody again here with me tomorrow. And have a great day. Stick around because we have Meg Lewis coming up on the next stream in just a few minutes. So just wait a few seconds and you'll be back. We'll be back again with another awesome live video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys again very, very, very soon. Thank you so much. Bye.